Say hey everyone, welcome into another edition of Say Hey Plays. My name is Jose Bouquett. Alongside me today is my old buddy Andrew Santangelo, aka AJ, as everyone likes to call you too now. I
That
remember that
works.
now. Andrew, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. Just staying busy. A lot of different things. Traveling back and forth from Oklahoma. Actually, home back right now in Pennsylvania. So it's an exciting time.
You taking the Phillies game while you're there?
I did. I went last Sunday versus the Dodgers. The walk off win on the air. I don't know if you remember that. Max
Oh,
Muncy error
Muncie?
at second base. Yeah, I was
Oh,
at that
you were
game.
there? That's
I was at
very
that game.
funny. That
That
is
was the only
very
game
funny.
they were at home for. And then they went on a road trip this week. So unfortunately, I could only take in one. But we all know if there's more, I would have been there.
That is very funny. I'm jealous that you get to go to these games often. Let's first of all let's stop everything. Let's give a shout out to the chat because he was here bright and early. He's ready for tonight. Shout out to Terry Coker. Are you ready for your new NBA champions tonight? The Miami Heat. It's going to be very interesting. Razor sharp picks also in the chat who has a Heat future. Dabby Cab and Reek being more nice and formal. What's up, guys? Nice to see you guys. Andrew, I've taken some hits in the last couple of days. I've taken some hits, and I wanted to start the show off like this because we'll get my complaining out of the way. Shout out our friend Dr. Squatch and get right into these games. But Andrew, uh, Game 6, the Celtics blow in horrific fashion. That same night, like I told you before the show, the Red Sox blow a lead against the Orioles. Hurt my feelings. Liverpool lose a heartbreaking soccer game, 1-0 yesterday. Really hurt my feelings. As I've told you before, Liverpool is my number 2 team behind the Red Sox. And now I'm getting set up for a game 7 in Miami, somewhere where I traditionally have not had success, Andrew. The Miami Heat are a team that the Celtics have lost to several times in the playoffs. I do not like them. My sister lives in Miami, so I have to deal with the Miami Heat love a little bit there too. But I wanted your quick, just game 7 thoughts, maybe perhaps from an unbiased third party.
Well, I think a lot of it's going to come down to whether Tyler Hero plays. I know he just came out; he's still questionable, so obviously see what happens with him, whether he goes. But listen, I hate to break it, but it's hard to pick against him both. He's been on another level right now. I got to go with Miami. They got the home court advantage. That's the pick for tonight.
All right, we're going to move on now. Not going to even acknowledge that. Let's get into Say Hey Plays 53. Not going to acknowledge that. Get into Say Hey Plays 53, and we'll shout out our friends at Dr. Squash. Our guys at Dr. Squash right now, it's the Memorial Day sale weekend. It's a lovely weekend sale. Today's the 29th, so you only got today and tomorrow to take advantage of it. Remember, guys, here's the deal. Listen closely. Spend 45, save 10. Spend 60, save 6 or spend 60, save 15 with Memorial Day code Memorial 10 and Memorial 15 individually for each one. Go to drsquatch.com right now. It's the website is on our description. Make sure to use that link so they know we sent you. Great soaps, very cool looking soaps as well. They smell great, natural soaps. They won't hurt you guys. The black hole, the whole galaxy bundle, the Area 51 brick. Like I said, the black hole is my personal favorite because of how neat and cool it looks. Great time from our friends at Dr. Squatch. So go today and go support a lovely sponsor of Say Hey Plays. With that, let's move into game 1, Andrew. Let's move into game 1 for sure. Giants versus the Reds here. Early morning game. It's about to start here. I've got nothing on it. I wanted to lean towards the over 8.5, minus 120, but I ultimately didn't want to move. I didn't move on it officially. Andrew, do you have anything real quick on this one?
Like you, I lean towards the over. I think the 8.5 number is a good spot. You got two struggling pitchers in Alex Cobb and Tyler Malley. Giants. I also don't mind the Giants money line or run line just because I have a hard time believing they're going to get swept to this Reds team, a Giants team that's been playing well. So I have a hard time believing they'll get swept. So I do like a couple of those Giants plays and look out for them to get going today, just because they've been cut short on offense a little bit the last few games. Obviously, you had the scuffle between One of the black names, Tommy Pham and
Jock
Peterson. I don't know why I just blanked on his name, but obviously Jock had the big game on Wednesday and Thursday, so he kind of hit a little cold patch there. So I think this Giants team.
I mean, yeah, he got slapped in the face. I hit a cold patch too. If I just randomly got slapped in the face.
So no, like you said, I like that lean the over here with that 8.5. I think both offenses get going today, and I mean obviously the Reds put up a 20 spot recently, so their offense has been hitting the ball well too. So I think they get to 9.
Yeah, that game's starting if it hasn't already. So go ahead and go tune your TVs to that. I'm going to do that right now. I kind of have a little bit of PTSD because Peacock is is like the primary like show place for the Premier League, and I don't want to watch soccer right now after what happened last night. So that hurts my opinion. It hurts my feelings. Jerry Young saying the ump is an under ump. So you just make sure you guys take advantage of that or take a note of that. Teflon Don also says, excuse me, took Cincinnati team total over 1.5 first 5 since he's playing well. They are. I think I saw a stat. I think you sent it to me. I'm not 100% sure, but they have like they started off 2-22 or whatever they started, and now they have since then they have one of like the best records, like up there with the Dodgers in the last like however many games. So shout out to them. The turnaround's been impressive. Obviously not a playoff team, but maybe us under 60 or whatever it was, 71 wins for the Reds might be sweating it out a little bit more than we thought. So, and by the way, shout out to Mr. MDR 24, giving us the say hey plays for number 53, Andrew. A different, I should say, a new little reoccurring thing that my guy here is doing. Every time we go to a new say hey place, he shouts out the guys wearing those jersey numbers. So we got Don Drysdale, the GOAT, Pedro Martinez, and Oral Hershiser today at 53. So very popular number for amazing pitchers, huh?
It's good names there.
Good names there. Jerry Young mentioning 2 and 8 to the under. So there we go. There we go. Let's move on. Next game on our slate to a game that we can actually talk about a little more in depth here. Red Sox, Orioles, Bruce Zimmerman versus Nick Pivetta. The Red Sox offense has made that turnaround. They split a doubleheader yesterday. 4-2 was the final score of the second game. It didn't end up moving on game 2, thankfully. I was going to move on like the first 5 or something like that, but it was a little too pricey at the end of the day. I was looking for like a little minus 130 or under, and ultimately just was too much for me. So this today, I think it's the same case. Bruce Zimmerman has pitched, okay, I guess. But half of his starts, like literally like half of his starts have been against the Yankees this year. He had 2 great starts to start the year, and he might be living off of that a little bit. But minus 190, obviously a little bit too pricey for the Red Sox. And the Red Sox are a little banged up, apparently. I saw Alex Cora today saying they delayed the lineup because they were trying to figure out like who's healthy and who's banged up and all this stuff. So honestly, it'd be a lean towards the Orioles. But Nick Pivetta has been amazing. And the Red Sox offense has been just as good too. So pass game for me here as well.
Yeah, for the reasons you just said too, I'd stay away unless maybe like you do an in-game live bet, just because you'll obviously see the lineups there at that point, so you'll be able to get more of a read from it. But yeah, it's tough to put something down when the Red Sox are delaying the lineup when you don't know who's going out there. And I mean, I've said before with Nick Pivetta, I don't trust him, and he's a tough pitcher to trust anyway. So
I don't believe that. You just don't like him because he was a part of your organization, correct?
He was a part of our organization. You're gonna tell me you trust Nick Pivetta?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, if you trust him.
Yeah.
The only thing I trust him with maybe is the strikeout stuff, because he can strike out batters, but outside of that,
Andrew, I hate to break it to you, but he's the Red Sox game 2 starter if they make the playoffs.
I should be saying I hate to break that to you that he's going to be your game.
No, he's starter. Good. He's good. I think he's a good pitcher. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks at the White Sox last time out. Pretty good start there. And then, of course, that was coming off of his complete game against the Astros. 2 hits, 1 earned run there, and that was a leadoff home run to Altuve. So, yeah, I think Nick Pivetta's pretty good. But we'll move on because nothing on this game. I should actually bring up Ballpark Pal to check weather factors as well. I forgot to do that. today. Oh, and actually, the wind blowing a little bit of wind, 5 mile per hour wind, and 36% humidity. So not many home run balls today potentially, but extra base hits aplenty according to Ballpark Pal today. All right. Next game on our slate here, we'll move on. Colorado Rockies, Washington Nationals here. And this has been a very offensive series to start this off. And I say that to say I'm looking at the first 5 under here initially. Kyle Freeland. I mean, what are we going to say about Kyle Freeland? How do you feel about Kyle Freeland right now, Andrew?
He's another guy. He's up and down. I mean, I don't trust him or Gray. So, and like you said, the series has already been on a high set. So, I mean, I look at a lot of the overplays, but Freeland's another guy that I look, especially some of these. I mean, Washington, they might be struggling overall, but I mean, their offense hasn't been over that bad. I mean, Cruz is starting to hit better. Josh Bell's been hitting well this year. So, I mean, they still got some names there, and obviously Juan Soto. So, I'd be a little worried for Freeland today.
Freeland last 2 starts, both good, which, take that with what you will. Maybe he's due for a bad one here. But Freeland at Pittsburgh, 4 1/3, 2 hits, and earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks. Versus the Giants, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 8 Ks, 2 walks there. Josiah Gray, who I like, but just keeps getting rocked. He got crushed against the Dodgers, which, I mean, no harm there, honestly, or no, disrespect there. 3 innings, 7 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 home runs, 5 Ks, 3 walks. Goes to the Miami Marlins, 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 home run there, 7 Ks, no walks. It's a high number at a first 5 under 5 at -120. I'm gonna keep thinking about it, and I'm gonna look at the chat. Let me know what you guys think as well. I definitely do like this under, especially after the offenses pop off for 25 plus last time out or whatever it was. So we'll see here. Andrew, do you have any plays on this?
So would you expect that to change though? Because my other worry here is in 2 of his last 3 starts, Freeland hasn't even made it to the 5th inning. So then you got to trust the bullpen, which is also kind of a scary thought. So, or he's made it into the 5th, but he hasn't finished the 5th inning. Is what I was trying to say. So to me, that too is kind of worried. No, I'm going to pass on this game as well. I'm passing this game.
Mr. Heat wrote, that's a very triggering name for me today, Mr. Heat, but I appreciate you for joining. What's up, my man? Cincinnati team total over 3.5. Let's ride. Jedi for Life saying first 5 over -105 at DraftKings. He's also laughing at the Red Sox playoff comments. I don't blame you there. If the Sox are missing bats, under scary to bet. And Terry Coker, as long as Golden State doesn't win the title, fuck Draymond Green. I would rather the Golden State Warriors win the title than the Heat, Terry Coker, unfortunately. So I hate to say that, but that's just the facts. Okay, so let's. I'll stick there for right now. No action, but I like the first 5 under 5 there, and I find it interesting that it's a -120. Those are the ones that really hurt. I don't know about you guys, the -120s, and you miss like a total like that. Those really hurt me. The juice upon it, and all that stuff on top of it, just was very annoying to me. So it'll be interesting. And by the way, Terry Coker, if the Heat lose tomorrow or today, I better see you in these comments tomorrow. I want to see that lovely smile of yours tomorrow because I'll be here. You know that. Next game on the slate, Miami Marlins, Atlanta Braves here. Fried versus Eliezer Hernandez. I love Max Fried. Everyone knows that. I think he's my favorite lefty in the league. 6 innings, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Him and Framber Valdez, I believe. And then at Milwaukee, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, 6 Ks, 2 walks. He had some early season wobbles. He's kind of figured himself out. Eliezer Hernandez, I don't know what we're going to get from him, Andrew. Kind of a tough things to say here. He went with 1 inning, 2 Ks at Tampa Bay last time out. I didn't even research why that was. I kind of just ignored it and moved on, to be honest. So I should have looked up and see why that was. But his 2 starts before that was against these Atlanta Braves. 5 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run off a home run, 5 Ks, and a walk. And then versus the Milwaukee Brewers, 4 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs. Only 2 of them earned 2 home runs there, 2 Ks, and 3 walks. both these offenses are really disappointing. We know that. I mean, it's worked yesterday for the Miami Marlins. Or I should say, it's worked yesterday for the Braves. They threw a lefty against the Marlins, Tucker Davidson, and this is where we cashed our first 5 under here because the Miami Marlins dead last against lefties this month, 75 weighted runs created plus. The Braves are 26 against righties this month, 85 weighted runs created plus. Do I trust Eliezer Hernandez to throw the first 5 under here? That's the same question I had with Tucker Davidson yesterday, Andrew. Same one. So I'm looking at first 5 under here again. What do you think?
First 5 under. I would trust Fried to do it. I also like Max Fried, but I don't trust Hernandez. I mean, I think Atlanta's starting to swing the bats pretty well. Acuna's, I mean, obviously he's been back. Now he's had a few weeks under him, so I do like Atlanta's bats. And my first 5 would be Atlanta money line here, Atlanta run line minus a half at minus 150. I like Atlanta to take this. I trust Max Fried completely. I think Hernandez is going to struggle once again, especially being down in Atlanta. So I think the first 5 play here would be Atlanta.
Yeah, minus 150, just a little bit too much for me. I mean, I don't hate it at all, honestly. But, yeah, it's just too much for me, yeah.
I don't know. Hernandez is just a tough guy to trust. I mean,
absolutely.
Atlanta's offense is so up and down as well. You don't know what you're going to get out of their bats. And with Max Fried, I think Fried. I mean, he'll do his thing. It's more again. What's the Marlins going to bring?
By the way, Rants is on the full game under and attempted first 5 here. Terry Coker cannot wait for that game. I'll be thinking about you all night tonight, Terry Coker. And I hope you take that whichever way you want to, Terry. It's going to be a fun game. I can't wait. Next game on our slate, Cleveland Guardians, Detroit Tigers here. Tristan McKenzie versus Elvin Rodriguez. Elvin Rodriguez, lovely name from Elvin. His second career start. Last time was his first one, or I shouldn't say career. This is his second start this year. 5 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, a home run, 4 Ks, 3 walks at Minnesota last time out. And then he had a relief appearance of 2 innings, 2 2/3 innings, 3 hits, 4 runs, a home run, 2 Ks, 2 walks versus the Chicago White Sox. McKenzie has been really good this year. I like him. I think he's a good pitcher. They sent him up and down last year to try to figure out his shit. But 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, a home run, 3 Ks, 1 walk at Houston. It's the real deal right there. And he's getting priced like the ace that he is, I think. I think he's a – I didn't want to say top 10, but I think he's like a top 10, 15 pitcher in baseball, maybe top 10 in the National or the American League. But I don't know. What the point is he's really good. I want to back him normally, but I've got nothing here for him.
I think it's a little early to call him top 10. I mean, we'll see what he can.
I agree with you.
I think he can definitely get there, but I think it's just a little too early for me to put him in that spot.
I agree with you. 100%. I agree with you. I was trying to figure out the right way to say that he was good. But the easiest way to say it is just saying he's very good.
No. I think my play here, I think, would be Cleveland first 5. I think the Guardians had a very good game yesterday, obviously, behind Shane Bieber. I think today I'd expect the same thing from McKenzie and a recent young pitcher, Rodriguez. For a first half result, Cleveland Guardians minus 105. I'll take that here at first 5, and that's a definite play for me.
So your Cleveland minus a half, first 5, you said. That is a minus 120 for me. Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I don't know. Those last couple of days for me, Andrew, I've been taking it a little slower, less unit size. I've gone 2-2 like the last 2-3 days. It seems 2-2, 4-4, just splitting. I don't know if it's been a successful strategy, I guess, taking it slow, but I've got nothing there, and I don't hate your look at all, and I'm not going to add it, unfortunately, but I don't hate it at all. Let's move on. Next game on our slate here, and appreciate all the people joining us, as always, 109 people joining us on a lovely Sunday morning. Hit the like button while you're here, and appreciate you guys. Let us know in the comments, as always, what you guys are on. By the way, appreciate Man Bear Pig leaving a comment on the last video. I think I'll have to double check with him, or he'll have to let us know. I think he had a big parlay last night. Maybe that's why he hasn't said anything. But we were pretty aligned on a lot of stuff, and he hit a parlay. So shout out to him, Man Bear Pig, wherever you may be. Maybe under a ditch or in a ditch somewhere enjoying his winnings. Who knows? But who knows? Yankees versus the Tampa Bay Rays here. Fascinating series. The Rays finally get a win yesterday off of Kermit Cole, which was hilarious. I got kind of hosed on my G-Man Choi prop. One of the more annoying things about betting on baseball, especially player props, is that walks do not count as a total base because they say total bases from hits. So I lose there. He goes 0 for 3 with a walk. I got screwed on an outside strike too, which was a little annoying, but that's how it goes. I usually don't take player props for that very reason. I'm just not very good at them, Andrew, it seems like. Luis Severino versus Shane McClanahan here. And McClanahan, also probably the top 5 favorite lefty for me. He throws gas. He's got wipeout stuff. He's been phenomenal this whole year versus the Miami Marlins. And both these starts are at home here, the last two. Going to another one at home, that makes me feel better about him. 6 innings, 4 hits, no earned runs, 9 Ks, 2 walks for the McClanahan against Miami Marlins. And then versus the Detroit Tigers, 7 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run off a home run, 7 Ks, no walks there. I like him a lot here, but obviously he's priced at that minus 150 price for a reason. Luis Severino is not a slapdick in his own right. I thought he would be worse this season coming off of his injuries, but he's been great. I mean, simple to say. He's had a blow up start here or there, but overall the body of work has been impressive. Versus the Chicago White Sox, 7 innings, 8 hits, no earned runs, 5 Ks, no walks there. And at the Baltimore Orioles, 6 innings, 1 hit ball, a home run allowed there, 7 Ks, 2 walks. So he's been great too. The 6.5 is super low for a reason. The series is always a low scoring series. Even at the 6.5, I would lean towards the under, but I'm not going to move on this one either.
Yeah, I think that one, and then the first 5 under at 3.5, I think could be a possible play as well. Like you said, it's a tough one. I mean, minus 130 is a little pricey for that risky of only getting there 4 runs there, obviously. But I think they limit the base runners, and obviously maybe a missed pitcher in there. A lot of times, probably just a solo home run. So I think that's where you benefit from these two guys when they're dealing in terms of that, like a first 5 play, because they don't have to worry about the bullpens. Obviously, that's what happened yesterday. Yankees winning 1-0 a lot, and Garrett Cole got pulled, and that's when the Rays came back to take that game. So that's what happens a lot there. So that first 5 under with these two guys pitching, I think, is a safe play there. And then, as Jeffrey Blue mentioned, I mean, no run first inning, that could be a possible play as well. I don't know what you have it at, but for me, it looks like minus 170.
Yeah, I got minus 165 here. And I've been thinking about this. I see a lot of, like, your baseball content creators doing no run in the first inning parlays. And I kind of want to take my toe. I want to dip my toes into one. And I want to see how it goes. If I were to do a no run in the first inning parlay, let me tell you right now, this one would be one of the I guess additions, or what are the legs of the parlay here. It's a minus 165 here. We'll see if I can do a 3-legger, and we'll keep going along the show.
I'd have a second one for you too, but I'll wait till we get to that game.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, wait till we get there, and we'll see if we can find 2 more to add. But ultimately, nothing on this game. Same for you, Andrew. Nothing on this one?
Correct.
All right, let's move on. Chicago Cubs, Chicago White Sox here. Love this series as always. Stroman versus Cease. And there's a lot of interesting stats. All right, I guess not even a stat, just an interesting thing. Marcus Stroman, the Cubs have lost every start but 2 that Marcus Stroman has had. Those 2 starts that the Cubs have won when he's on the mound have been 2 of the last 3. So congratulations to Marcus. But Cubs just not. I don't know what it is. Cubs just not winning with him on the mound. Dylan Cease has been, great. Oh, they turned the lights off on you, Andrew. Oh my God, unbelievable! These people, go get them. That's hilarious. But Dylan Cease is as I'll. That's so funny to turn the lights off on him. Dylan Cease versus the Red Sox last time out, 3 innings, 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 of them coming off a home run, 2 home runs allowed, I should say, 4 Ks, 2 walks. Blow up start for Cease, a little windy day, and the Red Sox, of course, were on their shit that day at the Kansas City Royals. Before that, 5 2/3, 7 hits, no earned runs, 9 Ks, 2 walks. Both these offenses are kind of pitter patter struggling. The Cubs are 88 weighted runs created plus, is 24th in the league this month against righties, while the Chicago White Sox are 21st, 99, about average. So ultimately, it's probably White Sox or nothing for me here. Maybe a White Sox run line, but I think this might be a lower scoring game. Andrew, what did you have?
I don't have anything in this game. I think I don't know these two teams. To me, these two teams, especially the White Sox, I expect them more from. I haven't really gotten that from them this year. Still kind of waiting for that trend. And obviously, Chicago is always a fun series. So I personally would stay away from this game just because too the Cubs have. I don't know. I know it was the Reds, but they kind of their offense woke up in some weird spots in that series this past. I think it was Wednesday and Thursday. So just an odd team too. I don't like either of these teams putting any money towards these two teams. So I'd personally stay away from them.
Let's go to the chat real quick. Jeffrey Moore shouting me out and saying perfect 2-0 day yesterday. Thanks to say hey play. Thanks for confirming the leans. I appreciate you, Jeffrey Moore, for watching. And that makes me smile. If I can confirm your leans or help you in any way get to a winner, that's ultimately the goal of this show. Let's all end up winning. You don't have to tail every play I put out, but if we end up winning together, that's the most important thing. Justin Bilbo asking for my record so far. In the top corner, you'll see it 171, 157, up 15 units this year so far. Yesterday, I went 2-2, I believe. Day before, I went like 2-1-1. Day before, I went 4-4. So it's kind of just been like a middling kind of week so far, but can't complain. Better than losing weeks, obviously. Jay Peasy say Yankees will be happy to go home splitting the series. 100%. I think that is 100% accurate, JPZ. I think if you would have told them they split the series, they'd be very happy there for sure. So I like that. And Mr. Heat, good luck here. White Sox team total over 3.5 there. I don't hate that at all. My only concern for you, Mr. Heat, would be the weather factor here. 15 miles an hour wind blowing in from right field, 41% humidity. It doesn't seem like it'll affect the runs that bad, according to Ballpark Pal, but 15 miles an hour wind coming in is always interesting. So we'll keep an eye on that, but I don't hate that at all. And I do expect the White Sox to bounce back and get the dub there. Let's move on. Next game on our slate here, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, Zach Greinke versus Sonny Gray. If you said this pitching matchup, I would say that we're in the year of our Lord 2015.
Right?
2016.
Maybe before that.
Maybe like 2014. It feels like this is a throwback matchup. Greinke 0-2 this year with a 4.53 ERA, but pitching better than that, I think. At Arizona last time, he got rocked 3 2/3, 5 hits, 7 earned runs off 2 home runs, 5 Ks, 4 walks. Versus the Chicago White Sox, the aforementioned Chicago White Sox, 5 2/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 4 Ks, and 1 walk there. Sonny Gray has been great. Plan out. He's been great this year. Pretty surprising on my end. I didn't think he was going to be this good, but he's been pretty good as it's Minnesota Twins are wont to do. Apparently, they're starting to figure it out over there pitching wise, which is good for them. Versus Detroit Tigers, 7 innings, 4 hits, no runs, 10 Ks, 1 walk. And then going back to his old stomping ground, Sonny Gray went 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 5 Ks, no walks at Oakland. And he has 4 straight dubs under his belt when he's pitching. The Twins do. 4 straight victories for him. So minus 195 might be, or I think is probably a little bit too pricey for me personally. I definitely would take dog or pass here with the Royals. Zach Greinke, I think is a good enough pitcher to stifle this Minnesota Twins offense, but I don't want to pay and see it. The last time, or I wouldn't say the last time, I have a vivid memory of the Minnesota Twins crushing Dick Mountain, Rich Hill, just sitting back and waiting on the curveballs. Zach Greinke, obviously the similar kind of pitcher, so we'll see how that goes for him. Andrew, so yeah, like I said, I have nothing on this one. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I like Minnesota's run line here -1.5 at +106. Sonny Gray pitches very well against this Kansas City team in his career. I think they're coming off a 7-3 loss yesterday. I think they bounce back and don't lose two straight to this Kansas City team at home. I think Minnesota's better than that. So I do like the +106, -1.5 for the whole game. And then I don't know, the over/under set at 8.5. I wouldn't hate the under for that as well.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. The under would be interesting. Justin Bilbo,
-104 for the under. Sorry.
by the way, no worries, Andrew. No worries. Also, Bilbo, I keep saying that about the record thing, just showing everyone the record up there. Some people don't notice it either, and we appreciate you listening in your car, my man. And Jeffrey Moore, the Red Sox we don't say that word in the Red Sox fan base, so don't you worry, you're not going to get me to say it. Stimmy OG, what up, my man? I'm glad that you're not shaving the bottom of your feet today, but let's get this money. Man Bear Pig joining us. We shouted you out a couple minutes ago, Man Bear Pig, for your comment on the show yesterday, I believe it was. Did you hit that parlay I think you got? So, oh, yes, you did. Monster Day, robbing the bookie. Let's do it again. So shout out to you, Man Bear Pig. So I like that. Bruce Hayward in here as well. I like that. AJ's in here. Anthony, maximum a bet on the Yankees. Anthony, shout out to you. And AJ, or I should say AJ's. I think I've got nothing on that Zach Greinke home run or K thing. My man Sharpie, who comes on every day just like I do, he's the K prop master. He's the prop king over there. So definitely go watch Prize Picks for that information for sure. Let's move on. Next game on our slate here: Milwaukee Brewers, St. Louis Cardinals. And I fucking was so close to moving on the Cardinals yesterday, and I didn't, and they fucking smashed them, which made me feel good about it. Which made me feel like I was like seeing the board at least right, and like Man Bear Pig was saying in the comments, he was leaning that way, and we were aligned, so that made me feel good that he cashes his big day too. Burns is someone that I faded in a lot of aspects, or not a lot of aspects, in some spots here. Versus the San Diego Padres at their place last time out, he went 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 1 earned, 5 Ks, 2 walks. Versus the Atlanta Braves, he goes 6 innings, 7 hits, 4 earned runs there, 2 home runs allowed, 5 Ks, and 1 walk. So he can leave, like my man Dabby Cad says all the time. He can leave the slider out there in the middle of the plate. He can get crushed. Miles Mikolas is not a slapdick pitcher in his own right. Plus 117 for a pitcher that good, you won't see very often. And I think it was, kind of like the Sandy Alcantara line last night. It's weird seeing a pitcher like of his quality being a plus money line. So I didn't move on this one yet, but my lean, I guess, where I want to move here would for sure be Cardinals first 5 money line at plus 110 for me, Andrew. Mikolas last 2 starts versus the Toronto Blue Jays, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks. And then at the Mets, 6 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned, 5 Ks, and 1 walk there. What about you, Andrew? How are you looking at this game?
Yeah, I think going back to that parlay real quick, I think this would be the possible no-run first inning. Going back to add to that one, I think these two fantastic pitchers here in this game. I think you could get a very. I definitely look at the under for the first half with these two guys. I do like the Cardinals play as well, but in terms of that parlay, this would be my second game. I don't know what your thoughts on that one would be.
No, I absolutely like it. I mean, it makes a whole lot of sense at minus 180 here. So obviously, it's a for sure parlay price there. Yeah, I'll add that in there as a second. We'll see if we can find a third one for sure.
But yeah, overall, I do like St. Louis in this game as well. I think at home, I think they stay rolling there in that game. So I think that'd be an interesting case for St. Louis to go. And I mean, listen, these are two fantastic pitchers, so it's going to be tough for either one of them. So, but if you're going first half, trust that St. Louis team at home.
All right, I'm going to move on it officially. Then I'm going to move on. Cardinals first 5. You can actually get I got a better price on it now. Plus 120 for Miles Mikolas. I'm taking that right there. And if for you guys asking, perhaps, why aren't you taking the minus or the plus a half? Um, it's at minus 125 currently. I think that's a little too, that's borderline too juicy for me. I'd rather have the plus money and at least gives me that back door for a push if this does go 0-0, for example, which, obviously happens a lot. So, first five money line for me moving there on the Cardinals. And thank you for helping me get there, Andrew.
No problem.
Uh, Next game we will talk about here, the Texas Rangers versus the Oakland A's. Another game that I actually have a lean on here, and I'm looking first five under here as well, minus 125 for the under four. So don't want to do anything too rash because it's a very juicy price. Dane Dunning versus James Caprillion. I actually like James Caprillion a lot. First start out, he had a rocky one, but he's been better since. He had another bad start last time out. At Seattle, 7 hits, 5 earned runs in 5 innings, 1 home run, 3 Ks, 1 walk. Versus the Minnesota Twins, 5 and a third, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 home runs, 6 Ks, and 1 walk there. Dane Dunning, I don't know what to make of Dane Dunning. He is just the most average, meh pitcher ever. I want nothing to do with him every time he pitches. Betting wise, I'm not confident enough to bet on him. But the number says he comes out there and does well on occasion. He went back to back against the Angels. His first start against them, he did well. 3 hits allowed through 6, 2 earned runs, and those are 2 home runs, 6 Ks, 3 walks. So I was like, okay, that's pretty impressive there. Obviously, in the second start against him, he got touched up a little more, which isn't surprising because he's not a great pitcher. But I do want to take the first 5 under here. I think that both of these offenses are inept enough to get us under here. 18th are the Rangers against righties this month, 101 weighted runs created plus. By the way, shout out to Marcus Semien for hitting his first home run of the year recently in this series. So shout out to him. That took a really long time. And the Oakland A's are the worst team against righties this month, 62 weighted runs created plus. So I'm looking to a first 5 under here, Andrew. What about you?
I don't hate that one. I like the Rangers here for the overall game. I'd take their team total over 4 at minus 105. Their offense has been very good this series so far. Again, those first 2 wins, putting up 8 in game 1 and then 11 here yesterday, and 4 in the first game. So hitting that at least 4 to at least get a push there in every game so far. And then even the series before that against the Angels, they split a series with them, had 7 that final series. So I do like Texas over 4 here.
You said over?
Texas team total over 4. Minus 105.
Texas team total over 4. Okay.
Minus
By the way, I just got some breaking news. Mike Breen not calling the game tonight. COVID. Fortunate.
That's a shame.
Fortunate. Canceled the game. No, do not. Did not look at the tweet that in depth. I saw COVID game 7 and I got a shiver down my spine, and I was like, please God, don't let it be anyone on the Celtics. But that's unfortunate. Shout out to Mike Breen, the best play-by-play caller in basketball. So
honestly, it's going to be a big loss for the game.
Cancel the game. I mean, postpone it. Postpone the game. Let's not even play it anymore. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to move on that first 5 under officially. It's just another lean for me. I don't feel confident enough with Dunning on the bump here. But let's move on to another game here. And I've mentioned it every time we talked about the Blue Jays. My dad, a.k.a. my father, a.k.a. Jimmy the Bag, is blind betting the Blue Jays every day. The last thing he's done the last 3 days. Yesterday he got, I think last 2 days actually, he got the dubs there. So it's worked. The Blue Jays are starting to hit with runners in scoring position again. The bullpen is atrocious. I mean, truly awful. But they're getting it done. They're getting it done. So you can't talk shit about that. Patrick Sandoval also has low-key one of my favorite lefties, I think. Let's talk about him. Andrew, 3-1 with a 1.79 ERA. He went back-to-back against the Oakland A's. Went 7 1/3, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 7 Ks, 1 walk, and his latest start against them. And in the first one, he went 6 1/3, 4 hits, another 1 earned run, 4 Ks, 4 walks there. You know what's a funny stat, Andrew? Patrick Sandoval has won. The Angels have won all but one start that he's been on the bump for the Angels this year. All but one. Very interesting. They seemingly just score 4, 5, or 7 runs whenever he's on the bump, and they get the win. So I didn't want to obviously move on the full game minus 130, but I was looking for sure at Angels first 5 minus a half at plus 105 here. I think the Angels are a good squad. I don't want to go up against head to head my father, Jimmy the Bag. Obviously, it's a minus 130 is a little too expensive for me as well. I normally would want the bullpen in there, and maybe instead of looking at a team total or a first 5, maybe I should look at a team total. But I do think the Angels come out on top here today. Andrew, what do you think?
I agree with you completely. I mean, these two teams are very good teams. Toronto has found a way to take the first 3 games of the series on the road. I'd have a hard time believing the Angels are going to get swept in a 4-game series against this team. Patrick Sandoval, I mean, I think you have to ride the hot hand there, and until the Angels start falling behind them, I think that's the play for the Angels first half. I don't hate first half under 4.5 minus 114. I think that's a play there for the Angels as well. Or sorry, not the Angels. This game overall, I think I get it. She struggled a little bit, but I mean, I think overall these two teams are going to go at it, and I think under 5 runs is a pretty good play here for the first half, and minus 114 isn't bad odds.
Yeah, I don't hate that at all. I mean, I don't trust Barrios. I think I've been on record on the show saying that Barrios is. I think, I haven't said this specifically. I think he's a little overvalued, but I think he's one of the most overrated pitchers in baseball. I mean, I think everyone's looking for him to be the ace, and I don't think he's that. I think he's a good number 3.
I get that. I think Angels' offense has struggled a little bit. I mean, they only have total in the series 11 runs. Obviously, it's not a high number there. So a mix with that, you might get some later runs in this game, I feel like. So I don't know. I feel like coming out of the gate, you're going to get some pretty scoreless innings. But
yeah, we'll talk just quickly. Jose Barrios' last 2 starts at the St. Louis Cardinals, 6 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs off a home run there, 7 Ks, no walks. And then versus the Seattle Mariners, 7 innings, 6 hits, 0 earned runs, 4 Ks, 2 walks there. So I guess I'm moving officially on Angels first 5 minus to have it plus 105 for me. So that is an official play there. Let's go to the chat. AOD has joined us. I'm glad AOD has just woken up from his champagne showers of Real Madrid. AOD, I talked about at the beginning of the show about how bad that game hurt my feelings. So I hope that you get to rewatch the beginning of the show and drink my tears. DJ Woodworker in the chat, Man Bear Pig trying to decide what he's going to do with parlay. Andrew, I'd love to hear your input as well. I'm struggling. Have a cash out choice here. The NBA, the heat of the last leg of a parlay. Cash out for 8K or go for it all for the 20K if they win. I'm cashing out.
I was about to say, yeah, 8K sounds pretty good to me. I'm cashing out, and in Game 7, I'm playing it safe. I'm cashing out as well.
I'm cashing out specifically because I'm thinking of my financial situation as a recent college graduate, and I'm like, $8,000 would be more money than I've had in a very long time. More money than I've had in my bank account ever. So
I feel that. That's what I'm saying too. So obviously it depends on that situation as well. But
yeah, absolutely. And he's cashing out as we speak. So I hope that you enjoy that 8K, my man. So that's awesome. Shout out to you. 8K is 8K. What you older men in the chat, you're like, hey, 8K is nothing. 8K. If I had $8,000, I could buy the world in my head. Andrew, I could buy the fucking world.
I'm retired on that, right?
Yeah, I'm buying a portion of the Houston Astros if I have $8,000. Let me tell you. Oh man, that is hilarious. Let's move on to the Houston Astros, Seattle Mariners, Luis Garcia, Marco Gonzalez. Luis Garcia who I learned is from Venezuela. I did not know that, Andrew. I feel stupid for not knowing this.
Usually on
And
top of that.
Yeah, usually I am. I didn't know he was from Venezuela when I went and watched him in Game 6 fucking rip my heart out. But let me tell you, I think that was probably a little bit of an influence on why I moved on him today. I moved on the Houston Astros first 5 minus. I have it minus 115 against the Seattle Mariners, who have been hot. Won last 2, beat Verlander. Shout out to them. Marco Gonzalez is not my guy here. And I've said this throughout the year, and I think we have an interesting situation. I said yesterday it was Urquidy. I believe it was Urquidy seeing the Mariners offense for the 3rd or 4th time this year. Logan Gilbert hadn't seen the Houston Astros, which was kind of surprising to me. But we have the reverse here. Excuse me. Marco Gonzalez, this will be his 3rd start against the Astros this year. And surprisingly enough, Luis Garcia has not faced the Mariners this year. I didn't move on it yesterday with Gilbert. So I'm moving on it today to see if I can rectify the situation, I guess. So first 5 minus a half, minus 115 for me on the Houston Astros. And real quick, MMA Locker Room asking if I have any future bets on the Celtics. I do actually have a future. I did take I took the Celtics to win the series after game 1. I only got like a plus 120, so it wasn't that great. And I have the Celtics to win the title. Not a good odds. It was after they beat the Bucks. I think I made it. It was like another plus 120. So it's not anything really good. I just wanted to sweat a little bit and have something on the Celtics at least. But yeah, no, it's more about being angry that they're losing and more emotional damage for me, Mills. Andrew, anything on this?
Sports without emotional damage.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the Houston Astros team total over 4 here, minus 122. They hit Gonzalez pretty good. Altuve, 333 career average against him. Alvarez, career 417 hitter against him. Brantley, career 444 hitter against him. Bregman, career 313. So I think that's the play here. You mentioned it. Mariners got the best from the last 2. So I like the Houston Astros to bounce back here and stop that little skid.
Great. I'm glad we're aligned here. Teflon Don also with us. Houston smashes left. He's been betting them all year. First 5 Houston. Yeah, I like him. 7th against lefties this month, specifically 113 weighted runs created plus. The same for the Seattle Mariners against righties. I like Luis Garcia. I think he'll hold the Mariners offense as well here. So going to be a fun game here. First 5 for us. Don't hate a full game look. You'll have to eat the juice, obviously. But let's move on. Dodgers versus the Diamondbacks here. Game I almost forgot about, Andrew. 100% almost forgot. 100% almost forgot about this. But I ended up moving on it, which is funny. This is my second play I made on before the show, and I made official. I'm on the over 9.5 here at minus 105. Zach Davies, Tyler Anderson on the bump here. I say it every time Zach Davies pitches. The Arizona Diamondbacks pitching staff has been phenomenal this year. Shout out to Brett Strom. But Zach Davies is the one guy that's been trailing the pack of all the pitchers, and I think he's the worst one of them all here. Versus the Kansas City Royals, last time out, 3 2/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned off 3 home runs, 2 Ks, 2 walks. And we'll talk about Tyler Anderson, who has been a revelation, I guess, and he's not going to get talked about at all. 1, because he's on the Dodgers. 2, he's the number 6 starter on the Dodgers. But he's 5-0 this year with a 3.30 ERA. Last time out, correct me if I'm wrong here, Andrew. I forgot what it was, but he had a perfect game or a no-hitter for a very long time.
It was the 6th or 7th.
Yeah, it was. I thought so. It was 6th or 7th inning, and I was like, this guy is ridiculous because he went before then. He went versus these Arizona Diamondbacks, 7 innings, 7 hits, 2 runs off 2 home runs, 7 Ks, no walks. I was like, who is this guy? And it's just the Dodgers being able to manufacture and use their analytics to get guys throwing the sliders that they want, all this stuff. So shout out to the Dodgers. But I think this is a case where we can fade him here. A very long outing for him last time out in those 8 innings. He's facing the Diamondbacks, who he just faced again recently. I think the Diamondback get some runs here. So I'm on the over here. I understand right now this month the Diamondbacks are 93 weighted runs created plus against lefties. That's 22nd in the league. But I think the Diamondbacks can scratch across some runs here. And I'm not even going to mention the Dodgers offense because we know they will scratch across runs. They will score. They can score 9 runs by themselves and get this over totally by themselves. But I think mainly my capping or the main reason I'm on this over is that I think Tyler Anderson will get touched up here. And I know that the Dodgers are going to score some runs. So give me the over 9.5 minus 105.
Hey, another quick thing on Anderson with how well he's been doing this year. Only one start this year. Has he given up more than 2 runs in a start?
Yeah. It's crazy.
It's just unbelievable, like, to think about. But no, I'm with you. Arizona is a team that actually hits him pretty good. Career-wise, he's Arizona's hitting 314 off him. I think that goes to show today. Like you said, I mean, Mookie Betts has been on fire, one of the best hitters in the league right now, if not the best. Yeah. 11 home runs in the month of May.
Andrew, quick interruption. I say this. I've only heard he's on fire because I cap baseball and do this shit every day now. I'm not seeing that on ESPN. No. Like I have not seen that once on ESPN. That's only on MLB Network. He tied the most home runs in a month for the Dodgers postseason for the franchise. What? The Dodgers are one of the best franchises in baseball, one of the best power hitting players of all time in their whole lineups. And Mookie Betts, a slender man, ties for the most home runs hit in a month. My God, what a beast that man is.
Plus, like, it's surprising too with it being the Dodgers. It's not like it's on like a small market team or anything like it's the Dodgers. You think it'd be taking over ESPN right now? Honestly,
yeah, nothing.
No, but even outside the game, obviously, I do like the 9-2 as well. I also like both team totals over as well. Diamondbacks are at over 3.5 at minus 106. Dodgers are at 5.5, which is a little high, but still, it's the Dodgers. We talked about how hot of a team they are. So even 5.5 at minus 106 isn't bad. So even both team overs as well. If you don't like the 9 somewhere, that could be another option, as I do like both of them. So overall, I like. No surprise, the Dodgers for the game, but that money line, minus 215 is way too steep, at least for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with you. And by the way, I think I'm realizing I found our third no run in the first inning piece there. So we'll move on to this next game, and then we'll talk about it officially on the over 9.5 at minus 105 here for me. Next game, Pirates Padres here. Brian Hayes, we'll give a shout out to Brian. First home run of his season this year, too, last night. A 3-run Johnson to give the Pirates the lead and the win eventually. Roansy, I was going to call him Rusney. Roansy Contreras for the Pirates here. 1 start under his belt. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 5 Ks, 2 walks versus the Colorado Rockies. Mackenzie Gore on the other side. And I think this is, I don't know if this is fascinating or what are we going to call it here, but the Padres kind of took their sweet-ass time calling him up, and they tried to trade him a bunch. And now he's on the big league roster, and he's 3-1 with a 2.06 ERA, dominating, and they kind of have a short leash on him. He got 3 hits, 1 run, 6 Ks, 2 walks at San Francisco, and then 3 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 4 Ks, no walks. So I appreciate what Mackenzie Gore is doing, and I like. I don't know. I wanted to bet on him here essentially, but I could not end up pulling the trigger. Andrew, both these offenses are shit too. And if you cover the lineups, or I guess cover the weighted runs created plus, you would expect the Padres to have the higher one, but they have a 76 this month against righties. That's 28th in the league, and 20th are the Padres. 95 weighted runs created, 20th are the Pirates this month. 95 weighted runs created plus against lefties. So nothing for me here. Leaning towards the Padres for sure, but moving on.
Is this the third game that you're thinking of? Or...
No.
Next game. Because I don't know. This one wouldn't be that bad though.
I mean, Rowancy's the unfamiliarity there would lend me to think that he could do it. but it's the Padres at the end of the day.
It is minus 162, so that is pretty steep for that, but for parlay maybe. No, I'm passing.
Did you have anything individually?
No, nothing individually. I'm passing on this one as well.
Yeah, I think this is just a kind of a snore fest kind of game. I don't know how often the Pirates and the Fathers play each other, but it's just nothing game. I don't want to watch here. Let's go to the comments real quick before we go to the last game here. Craig Wood said, my last vision of Anderson in Colorado was the player nickname game when Mr. Duck went out and sold big time. Mr. Duck, that was Anderson's player nickname jersey? That's hilarious. And DJ Woodworker also saying, you're watching Anderson go 8 innings no with the Rockies. Shout out to Melky Cabrera for breaking it up. Melky Cabrera, known steroid user. Melky Cabrera. So blame the steroids there.
It's been a while since I heard that name.
I know, right? Damon Santori also said that he changed his delivery similar to Lauer's as well. And Craig Wood saying, this is a Pirate spot last night. Bases loaded several times without getting runs across. Bruce Hayward also saying the Padres should bounce back as well. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I'm with Rants too, though. I pass on this one. I think it'll be an interesting game for sure. And he played at Oregon. That's why. Interesting.
It's a fun spot.
Sure, Tyler Anderson. Sure. I mean, how many players really rep the college that they went to? In baseball, not many.
Not many.
I can think of Bregman and LSU, and that's really about it. So, all right, let's move on to the last. Aaron Nola went there.
LSU. Yeah.
I didn't know that. He seems like a West Coast kid to me. I don't know. It's probably just the hair.
You're not wrong about that one either. Not this year though. He got that cut.
Interesting. All right, well, let's move on to the last game. Wheeler versus Bassett here. Phillies, Mets, your beloved Phillies here. And this is the last no run in the first inning I was looking at here. And this would make a whole lot of sense, not over complicating the joint. Let's see here. I wanted to double check, see the price. No run in the first inning is minus 150. Pretty surprising. So I'll calculate the no run in the first inning parlay for us here in a second, but I'll let you take the floor first, Andrew. What do you have on your Philadelphia Phillies this year? You watch them every day. You know this team inside and out.
Yeah, I would say for this one, first run, no innings. I think that would be the play here, like you said. I think overall, the Phillies would be the play to avoid the sweep. Zach Wheeler's been pitching very well in the month of May. I think that's the spot to get back at here. Going against a good pitcher here, and Chris Bassett as well, though. So that's where you got to be careful, obviously being in New York as well. But, I mean, 2 games here against the Mets you drop. I think this is the one you get back at it. It's been the story of the season so far. The Mets have won every series against the Phillies, but the Phillies have taken the last game. So I think that trend continues. Overall, I think 7.5, I mean, that's the over-under for this game. I think that'd be an interesting play. That's a little worried with the Phillies bullpen is why that would scare me. So that one would all depend on Zach Wheeler, how deep he goes. I don't know what your thoughts on that is at 7.5. The under is minus 115. The over is minus 105. So that's an interesting spot there as well, especially with these two teams. In game one, you had the Phillies put up a 6 spot in 1 inning. And then yesterday you had the Mets go for, I think, a 4 spot in the 4th inning, I think it was. So a couple big innings is what's decided this series so far.
So I'm seeing in the chat a lot of first 5 Mets here. Chris Bassett's been phenomenal. Has Bassett faced the Phillies this year? Do you know off the top of your head?
Yes, I believe so. He faced them, I think, toward the end of April, if I remember correctly. Nope, it was the beginning of May. He went 5 2/3, gave up 1 run, 5 hits, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, and picked up the win.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that recent ago either. Yeah, I mean, it is. And Wheeler's been phenomenal now. He's finally gotten his shit together.
After no spring training, he's back the last few games.
Yeah. I'm glad I don't have to fade him anymore. The no spring training was fun to fade, but he has been great. And by the way, sneaky quiet game we've got going on in Cincinnati right now. 1-0 right right now. I thought for sure this would be a higher scoring game. 1-0. Glad this left the over, and I'm glad that they're showing Carly Yastrzemski highlights on the Cincinnati Reds game. Shout out to Mike Yastrzemski. But yeah, 1-0. That's an interesting score. Shout out to Reds. Nothing here. And we'll move. We'll answer this last question. Craig Wood asking, Jose, do you buy into the juiced Sunday Night Baseball theory? I do not. No, I do not. I don't think any of the balls are well. Okay, this is my theorem with the baseballs that we're going with right now. I think Major League Baseball had a shitload of baseballs, and they had a shitload of old baseballs, and they mixed them together last year, and they have no way of knowing of which baseball is which. So they're just kind of riding this out. Like they just have to ride it out for this next year, use up all these baseballs, use up as many as they can, and then allegedly next year again, they are switching the ball. So we will see how that goes. I don't think Sunday Night Baseball, but I do, however, subscribe to the theory that they definitely juice them for the Field of Dreams games, the League World Series games, the London games, stuff like that. Sunday Night Baseball happens too often for it to be juiced. I think that, one, because they basically said it, that the baseballs were juiced for those games. The baseballs were juiced, and then specifically, I remember betting the under in the Field of Dreams game and just being like, "This is a horrible idea." 5 minutes into this, so shout out to the juiced baseballs, and shout out to you, Andrew. We've survived another show together. You've made it,
Always.
and it's been a fun time. They turned off the lights on you midway through. They turned off the lights
downstairs a couple times. So
they come downstairs. Yeah, I mean, 8 people in that house of yours. What are you gonna do? A lovely family reunion weekend. I appreciate you for stopping by, of course.
Absolutely.
Let's recap our plays here. I've got 4 officially, and I will shout out the no run in the first inning parlay. If you guys want to tail that, I'm gonna put that in. I'll make it official. I'll make it official too. I was kind of battling that. I was, do I really want to make these official and count these on my record? Because we all know the parlays fucking stink, and we never recommend them. Parlays are more for enjoyment, but I will see how that goes. So officially, these are my 4 plays. Houston first 5 minus a half at minus 115. Arizona versus the Dodgers over 9.5 at minus 105. The Cardinals first 5 money line at plus 120. And the LA Angels first 5 minus a half at plus 105 for me, as well as the Nerfy no run on the first inning parlay, 3 legs there, plus 316. Tampa Bay, New York, Milwaukee, St. Louis. I almost said Seattle, and Philadelphia, New York Metropolitans. Andrew, what are you making official today?
I have the Atlanta Braves first 5 at minus 134 over the Miami Marlins. I'll take that. Trust Max Fried. I took the over 8.5. Well, I said I'd take the over 8.5 against the Rockies Nationals, but the way that first 2 series, those were pretty good series. I said the under for the Yankees Rays game at under 7.5 minus 108. With those 2 guys on the mound. So I only have 3 official plays, but those are my plays. And then I do agree with that parlay, though.
I forgot. I'm going to make one more official here. And I don't know. Well, we'll start with this. I mean, I'm making the parlay official plus 316. That just got put in. But I'm going to also take the over 8 in the Angels Blue Jays game. I got there yesterday with the over, thankfully. And we have good hitting conditions to begin with. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to write this down and avoid having these weird burps that I'm having, whatever it is. But Angels Stadium today, 12 miles an hour wind out, 47% humidity. It's a nice, cool 74, excuse me. And Ballpark Pal has home run factors up 15%. We know the Blue Jays are a big home run hitting squad. I don't trust my man Jose Barrios. So I'm taking the over 8 at -115. And on top of all that, of me not trusting those guys, let's say, for example, worst case scenario for me today, it's 0-0 after 5. And I lose first 5 Angels and the unders getting shit on. The Blue Jays bullpen is truly atrocious. There's not, if they throw Jordan Romano today again, I will be, I don't even know what I'll do. I'll just laugh. Because I'll be 4 straight days of Jordan Romano. His arm probably feels like gelatin. But I like the over there as well. Craig Wood also saying Barrios can get there himself, can get you there himself. Yeah, I like both these offenses. I think they're both coming around. And, well, I should say I like the Blue Jays offense. It's coming around, and the Angels offense to continue what it's done all year. So that's what I've got today here, Andrew. Say Hey plays 53. It's going to be an emotional day, Andrew. It's going to be a very emotional day, and I'm scared.
Don't forget, whatever happens, feel free to give me a call afterward. I'm here to answer the call.
Yes, Andrew is my designated. I go and yell at Andrew whenever something bad happens in the sports world. Andrew didn't get a call from me yesterday after the Liverpool game because there's no anger. There was just tears, just sadness, and just like looking at all my favorite players just depressed. It was a horrible time. And AOD all the while was laughing and lapping up my tears. So shout out to you guys, of course. Shout out to Terry Coker. Shout out to Wallaby King, Craig Wood, Bruce Hayward, DJ Woodworker, all you guys for joining us today. It's going to be a fun night, man. Game 7s are always exciting. Celtics, Heat. It's for it all, Andrew. The Celtics win this game. I think they win the NBA championship. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to say. Any final words before we get out of here, Andrew? Where can people find you at?
Hey, good luck tonight. Don't forget, you got to breathe. Don't forget to breathe tonight. I mean, I know it's going to be an emotional one for you.
It will be. I don't even like basketball. Well, that's the crazy part.
Hey, we played basketball a few times.
Yeah. I mean, I suck at I'll tell you right now, there is nowhere I feel more uncoordinated than a basketball
court.
No, it's so bad. And by the way, gas station report asking for the parlay real quick. It's a no run in the first inning parlay. Tampa Bay, New York, Milwaukee, the St. Louis Cardinals, and the Phillies Mets. All no run in the first innings there. That's my parlay. But yeah, no, I can't. I hate basketball. It's the worst. The only Venezuelan basketball player was Grievous Vasquez. I love Grievous Vasquez. Apparently, he's a dick in real life. I won't give away my sources for who told me that, but I will say that. And I'm just not a basketball guy, but I'm a big Boston sports success guy, and I want to see my baby boys win, Andrew. So it'll be fun. All
right. Good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate it. And thank you all for watching. As always, we'll be back here tomorrow, Monday, and a special one. I've got my dad, Jimmy the Bag, coming on the show Monday afternoon, 5:30 Eastern, 4:30 Central. Jimmy the Bag and I break down a Monday card. I have not looked at it. I haven't even considered looking at it. It's probably a short card, but it'll be a lot of fun with my dad, Jimmy the Bag, joining me on Monday. Cannot wait. The gas station report giving Grievous some shout out. Grievous was a dog. Shout out to Maryland. He was a dog at Maryland. All Venezuelan people are dogs. Gas station report. That's your fun fact of the day. I'm a dog. Grievous is a dog. All my Venezuelan cousins are dogs out there. We just try to go hunt. See you guys tomorrow. Jimmy the Bag, me, 5:30. Till then, say hey.